Doing. All right, cool. So tonight's lesson is fruit for meat and the leaf for medicine, part 1. All right. So fruit for meat and the leaf for medicine, part 1. Let's get into it. How many of us love food? Food is just your thing. Just can't get enough of it. Won't stop, can't stop, huh? Ain't that right? We love food. Makes us feel good, right? So many pleasurable moments come with the satisfaction of eating something good. So now, but how many of us actually make healthy choices when it comes down to the food we eat?
Half and half.
Woo, you hope so. Hope so. He said, I'm more like a 50-50 guy. He might be. What about the rest of us? What are our choices looking like? Because how we eat and how we eat affects our overall health. It affects your mental, your physical, and it can even tie into where you're at spiritually. These would be the choices we be making. Now, other thing is, given the option, which choice would most people take? Most is going right there for the donut. Given the choice between the apple and the donut, most is going for the donut. Why? Because it tastes so much better. Because it's sweet. It is a sweet delicacy that many of us love to have and partake in. Get Ecclesiastes chapter 10, 19. Yes, Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 19.
Got it. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 19. A feast
A what?
A feast
Read.
is made for laughter.
So a feast is made for laughter. So
And-
man, a feast is no, that's all I need. A feast is made for laughter. That's what we need a feast for. It's made to make you feel good. Make you feel good about yourself. Make you feel good about those who you're around. However, every day ain't a feast.
Right.
Every day ain't the time to go in, which many of us do. Breakfast, we like to go in, pile it on. Lunch, dinner, everything in between. We be feasting all day. Give me all the chips, sodas, and snack-a-whack'ems. Everything that's going to make me feel good. That's how a lot of us are, but like the scriptures say, you reap what you sow. You sow abundantly, you reap abundantly. You sow sparingly, you reap sparingly. So all that we eat falls within moderation. A lot of us, we be sowing abundantly, but with the wrong things. We sow abundantly not exercising. We sow abundantly eating whatever we want, especially when it comes down to things that aren't healthy for us. But when it comes down to things to do well, we spare it. It's too much. Too much to cook healthy meals. I eat junk food and fast food. Too much to exercise. Too much to go to the gym. Because you ain't even got to go to the gym. You just got to exercise. Too much. But the easy thing to do is to relax, watch a show, order some food. And that's how many people live and operate on a day-to-day. And the ironic part is that you have more in what many refer to in this day and age as the conscious community that have a better care for their meat and diets than what many Israelites in the truth do. We be like, as long as it ain't in that Leviticus, that Deuteronomy, I'm good. Anything else is by me. Lacking balance. Go back to the PowerPoint. Now, man, a feast is made for laughter. And then it gets to Sirach 14 and 16. The book of Sirach.
The book of Sirach chapter 14 and verse 16. Give and take and sanctify thy soul, for there is no seeking of dainties in the grave.
So the Most High said, look, give and take and sanctify thy soul, for there is no seeking of dainties in the grave. So ain't nobody saying you got to put down the cake and the cookies for good and not pick it up. You can eat it. Cakes, cookies, meat, cheeses, whatever it is you desire, whatever sort of dainty thing, because someone get the definition of dainty. Let's get the definition of dainty. What is dainty when something is dainty?
Got it?
I got it.
Gotcha.
Go ahead, read it.
Gone. Dainty, of delicate beauty, exquisite, pleasing to the taste.
Woo! Read that number 2 again.
Pleasing to the taste.
Pleasing to the taste. Read.
And often temptingly served or delicate.
See all them sweets out there temptingly served. Boy, I'm going to try that one, that one. It's all looking good. That's what you're looking at. Things that are pleasing to the taste. See that? When you're dead, ain't nothing to worry about. You're dead. Ain't no seeking the dainties. But while you're alive, that's the time to eat it. Most are saying you can have your dainty things, but there's a balance. Get Sirach 37 to 29. We're going to get these words highlighted. Unsatiable, the first one we're going to define. Get Sirach 37, 29.
Ecclesiasticus 37 and verse 29. Be not unsatiable in any dainty thing.
So the scriptures tell us, be not unsatiable in any dainty thing. Because it ain't just one thing. It ain't just the cake. It's the pie. Ain't just the pie. It's the cobbler. Ain't just the cobbler. It's the cookies. Ain't just the cookie. It's the chips. Ain't just the chips. It's the sodas. Ain't just the sodas. It's the juice. Ain't just the juice. It's the chicken. Ain't just the chicken. It's the ribs. So on and so forth. Any dainty thing.
Nor
too
greedy upon meats.
Nor too greedy upon you. Man, that'd be a lot of people. We'd be greedy. Now, get the definition of insatiable.
Gone. Unsatiable. Impossible to satisfy. Or a person having an insatiable appetite or desire for something, and then it says especially in sexual intercourse.
Got you. So never being able to be satisfied, impossibly satisfied. You're in a place to where you pile on your plates. You eat extra. You eat a whole lot more than what is necessary. You don't seek to get full off of nutrient value. You seek to get full off of that stomach expansion. When you feel nice and stuffed. So now, that's where the scripture, don't be to the point to where you eat so much extra, because once again, you got to look at it. If it was something else, you probably wouldn't be eating as much of it. Separate whatever your dainty things are, separate that for something more unfavorable. You probably wouldn't eat as much. You probably wouldn't be going back for second, thirds, or fourths if it was a bowl or a plate of Brussels sprouts, asparagus, lettuce. Tell me I'm lying. You don't pile those things on like that. You like, just a little bit of that. That's what I want right there. That's what I want. But see, you cut out the things that are good for you, for your benefit, but you overindulge on things to where if you don't eat it in moderation, it's going to do you wrong. We like to feel good in the moment and suffer long term. That's how a lot of us operate. So, make me feel good right now. I deal with the consequences later. That's how we be. Just give me my fix right now. But go ahead, read verse 30.
Verse 30. For excess of
For
meat.
what?
For excess.
For excess. Excess is the problem. A lot of our people are eating in excess of these things. So you're reaping the fruits of your labor. Because you're still laboring either way. It's just how you're laboring. You're still, through your excess in these things, you now, and through the sowing of them, you partake and you reap the reward of high blood pressure, diabetes, stomach problems, issues, heart attacks, strokes. All these things are the rewards that come with this lifestyle. So you're not having a better balance on how it is that you're consuming and going about the thing that you seek for your nourishment. Because once again, like excess deal with the fact of exceeding something else in amount or degree. The amount or degree by which one thing exceeds another. Because when you look on these plates, a lot of things, a lot of this brown chicken, brown cow, that's it. All that brown, no green. Yeah. No green. Nevertheless, or it's very little lack of it. That is a very strong imbalance. You can have your dainty, but don't do it in a way that is so imbalanced to where you reap the benefit or the reward of that lifestyle. Food is high in fat, high in cholesterol, high in sodium, high in everything that is only going to constantly work against you long term, decreasing either your life expectancy or decreasing the value or the, what is the other word I should say? Not benefit, not success, the quality of those years. You're decreasing the quality of the years that you have. That's another one. Because yeah, it's not like you eating super healthy is gonna make you live to like 200-300 years old. It's not what I'm saying. But a lot of our people dying in their 40s, especially their 50s. 50s be prime time for our people. 52, 53, 54, 55, dropping. Health issues, not taking care of it. And that becomes a situation due to how we living. So now, read on verse 30.
Verse 30. For excess of meats bringeth sickness.
That's the problem. The excess is what brings sickness. It's not that you can't have it, it's the excess of it that starts to put you in the negative. It puts you in debt. Many people go in debt off of one meal, let alone all the meals you eat throughout the day. So now you continue that lifestyle, you in debt for days and weeks. And all you're doing is waiting to cash out. So now, read on.
And surfeiting will turn into choler.
What is surfeiting and what is choler? Let's look it up. Surfeiting. Surfeiting means excess, an excess amount. Excess or overindulgence in eating or drinking. That's what you're dealing with. So, yeah, you get choler too. So, and it says, an uncomfortable, full, or crampulous feeling due to excessive eating or drinking. General disgust caused by excess or satiety. So, to bring to a state of surfeit by excess of food or drink. So now, and also deal with the effects of overindulgence in eating or drinking. So now it says that surfeiting, that the excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting will turn into choler. What is choler?
Choler definition, we got an archaic definition, yellow bile, or just bile, a state of being bileless, and we also have anger. So that's
anger. Irritability. Now I got a new one right here. I'm gonna look this up. Look that. It said irascibility. So easily provoked to anger, very irritable. So a lot of time that deals with your state, your stomach issues, pains, you're uncomfortable, things of that nature. Too much, you're stuffed. You know, that's part of the problem. Too much. So now let's go back. All right, now some tell you because of all of that, well, see, that's why God made us vegan. They get that from their interpretation of Genesis chapter 1 and verse 29. Read that.
Genesis 1 and 29. Excuse me, that's chapter 2. 1 and 29. And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat.
See that? He gave us that for meat. That's what we're supposed to be eating for our meat. Nothing else. That was it. Hold on. See if that's the case. When you look at meat in Genesis 1 and 29, that gives you in the Hebrew H402, which means food. He said, I gave you these things for food or to consume or to eat. That's what it means by meat. This does not mean that he made us and he made all animals just to simply eat vegetation. That is not what it is saying. Let's read it again from the top and add a little more context to it.
And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed.
He is making reference out of the greenery upon the earth, what is lawful and good to eat. When he's referencing something specific, not lottie-dottie, everything and everybody. He said, Behold, I've given you of every herb bearing seed. Herbs are your plants, every plant bearing seed. Read on.
Which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree.
And every tree, now he's referencing the trees. Read on.
In which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed.
Yielding seed. That's what it is he was referencing, the type of plants and trees that may be consumed for your benefit. Read.
To you it shall be for meat.
That those things are able to be eaten or consumed. That's what he was making reference to. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to have all these other scriptures this way. You wouldn't be able to have it get Genesis 4 and 3.
Genesis 4 and 3. And in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord.
So
And
Cain brought forth a wave offering unto the Most High. He brought some fruit. But what did Abel give? Read.
And Abel also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
So now if meat was a problem, he wouldn't have respected that. How you going to come and cook up, some meat? I made y'all vegan. He ain't say that. He had respect to Abel's offering. So it wasn't a problem. So, point 1. Point 2, get Genesis 7, 1 through 3. And then we'll get Genesis 9, 3 and 4. Let's get the ark with Noah.
Genesis 7 and 1. And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation.
So Noah was once again right, just like Abel was. Read on.
Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by 2, the male and his female.
So now, why did they have to have extra? Of the clean animals, they had to eat. Animals got to eat too. So now, when it came down to the clean, there was extra brought because those things had to be eaten, consumed. So now, go ahead and get the book of Genesis chapter 9, verse 3 and 4.
Genesis chapter 9 and verse 3. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat.
Absolutely. So all these things aren't being things that people think, oh, this is just, the law is just growing as time goes on. He established the law when he established the earth. That's part of that light he made in the beginning. Everything that he established was founded upon the law first. He didn't create this whole world and everything and then decide I'm going to try to find some laws to govern the people. He already had those things preordained. And all these things he is just repeating again and again and again, as he repeated unto Cain, Abel, he repeated unto Adam, Eve, repeated unto Noah, repeated unto Moses. But the law has been the same. I'm giving you the same script. Because, of course, here, not saying, okay, you could eat everything, every living thing. No, because he understood they knew the law. I'm just telling you the same thing. You already know what it is. Yeah, anything, any animal of the field you can eat. Oh, he said I can eat anything. Nah, You already know the law. Anything clean you can eat. So now, and that's why you see other parts reiterated. But you got to cook it. That ain't never changed. So now get, once again, Leviticus 11:47. Because we still have a dietary law, which was set up from the beginning.
Leviticus 11:47. To make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beasts that may be eaten and the beasts that may not be eaten.
Right. So these same things were the same laws that Noah understood, that Cain and Abel understood, and that Adam and Eve understood. But he had to always reiterate it to make sure we always understood. But it's the same laws he was given. Now go ahead and get Exodus 12:8, and then we're going to get Exodus 12:14.
Exodus chapter 12 and verse 8. And they shall eat of the flesh in that night, roast with fire, and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it.
Read verse 14.
Verse 14. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever.
Forever. Don't understand, Christ didn't do away with the law, so forever still applies even to today. So even if someone does eat more of a plant-based diet or even choose to be vegan, well, Passover is the one day that you got to make that exception. Because there's still a time that you got to eat that meat. So now let's continue. So for those of you who still like your meats, it's still lawful to eat and do so. All right, so you ain't got to worry about not being able to eat it. So what's the problem? Once again, get Sirach 37 and 31. So the problem is the overfeeding, overindulgence. That is the problem with our people. Go ahead and read that. Sirach 37 and 31.
Verse 31. By surfeiting have many perished.
It says by surfeiting, many have perished. Not few, but many. Due to overindulgence, many have perished. Telling you what? Telling you exactly that what it is you consume has a big part to do with your overall health and your life expectancy. Shortening your time, you trying to wine and dine. So now, but read on.
But he that taketh heed.
But the person who takes heed, that has wisdom, that sees, you know what, how I'm actually eating, how I'm living is not conducive for me being able to prolong my life or the health of my years to go on. I have to make a change. I have to start restricting certain things, having a better balance so I can be able to put forth a better effort to extend that expectancy. So now read on.
But he that taketh heed prolongeth his life.
That's what you're trying to do. Because all depends on how bad. How bad are you eating? Everybody ain't necessarily eating the same. Some worse than others. Some far worse than others. But depending on how bad it is, because life expectancy, we just take away from it. We're the ones who shorten it. Drop it down. That was the whole reason why our lives went from, just even sitting along with Adam and Eve, going from immortal, and then you looking at the next generation to come with the Cain and Abel, the Seth, and, so on and so forth. Our whole lifespan started getting cut further and further down. So now, a lot of times we wait till we get to this point. Wait till we got to see the doctor. We wait till we get here. or something worse happen, when we wait till we get here, you didn't have that stroke, that heart, you didn't have that scare, to fix a problem that could have been prevented. Preventative maintenance checks and services, the checks and services you do to prevent further maintenance. Like many of us got cars. We ride them cars till the wheels fall off. We don't be checking nothing, and we wait months, to check something. A lot of times we don't even do it then. Wait till it's some sort of problem. We feel some sort of problem. Something ain't working right, or we hear something real off. Then we want to try to fix it. And we do the same with our bodies. We wait till there's a problem. Boy, let our bodies work as generally as they go. We'll ride out as long as possible, not exercising, not eating healthy, until there's a problem. Till I get a scare. Other than that, it's working good enough for me. So I keep it going. Same thing with the car. Working good enough for me. I start it up, it start. Put gas in it and I go. But yet and still, damage is still building up. To where the problem becomes so much worse, you got to pay so much more to get it fixed because you didn't do what you should have done over a process of time. Now, you could have prevented it by doing this and this, but you didn't. Now, making healthy choices isn't always easy. Because you're always stuck between this or that, and this one tastes better. I like this one better. It ain't easy. Get Sirach 30 and 25. Here's part of why.
Sirach chapter 30 and verse 25. Envy and wrath shorten the life, and carefulness bringeth age before the time.
Sirach 30 and 25?
My bad, that was verse 24. Verse 25. A cheerful and a good heart will have a care of his meat and diet.
So the first someone do, man, you got to have a care of your meat and diet. But a prerequisite of that makes it easy is you first have to have a cheerful and good heart. That plays a big part into you having a care of your meat and diet. When you're in a place when you're not happy, you're not satisfied, you look to get filled. A lot of times we run to the things we believe to make us feel the best when it's only going to give us a momentary euphoria or euphoric feeling, but it's only going to hurt us long term down the road. And then on top of that, guys, we're not in a place to where we have a good mind, a sound mind, a positive mind. Because a lot of things are against us. We fight against so much. Stress, our jobs, work, family relationship problems, spousal problems, all of this just makes us want to eat whatever it is that we want to eat. Do whatever it is we want to do. Sorrow's another one that gets us. We want to feel better. But truly feeling better isn't a momentary thing. Truly feeling better isn't something that's only going to last short term. So you can't try to fix a long-term problem with a short-term success. You have to start initializing long-term strategies. It's like if I'm in a whole lot of debt, I can't expect to do right today and next week with my finances to get out of all that debt I piled up. It may take me months. may take me years. That means for months and years, I have to have a strategy to properly pay it off, so I pay it off sooner and I stay on top of my business. And then work to keep it down. Some of us have piled up debt in our lifestyles. Dietary debt, exercise debt, fitness debt. So where the beautiful thing is, you can still fix it. There's still time. That's the beautiful thing. The problem is how many of us want to capitalize off of it. That's the problem. So now from there, are you ready to make a change? Are you ready to change? Change is, of course, for you, but not for you only, but for all of those around you, all those who depend on you. You got to change for your spouse. You got to change for your kids. You got to change for your family, your friends, those who depend on you, those who love to see your betterment. Those are the ones you got to change for too. You want to be there to be able to be the best you can be during those times for those who need you. But always try to be as much of an asset as you can and not a liability. We eat how we want, and then when push come to shove, find ourselves in a place to where we ain't took care of our health. We're going out in the early grave, and all we got left to give our kids and give our family is debt. We ain't even got life insurance policies, most of us. We find that a waste, yet and still, many of us dying early. And they ain't leave nothing behind to show for it. So the least you can do is work to create a better balance, create a better lifestyle. Be there for those who need you, because you're needed. You are needed to take care and provide for your family. And I hope Most High willing, you capitalize on the opportunities the Most High has given you. Because look, yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. This is the present. Not just present sense like time now, but this is the gift. This is your present. This is your gift. The beauty to be able to have another day to get it right, to improve upon my failures of yesterday. I can't change what I did yesterday, but I can work to change what I do today to have a better tomorrow. We do that with everything. Physical, the spiritual, the mental. Let me get things right. Can't change the errors I may have committed yesterday, but I can work to either eliminate or decrease the amount of errors I do today. I can't work to change all the years I ain't exercised, I ain't get things right, but I can go ahead and work to go ahead and make what it is I'm doing now more effective for the sake of the future. That's across the board with everything. Ain't had life insurance, I'm gonna get some. And I'll be coming up with, y'all got classes soon, at least for members. That financial literacy I'm trying to get going for y'all. Gotta get right. Same thing. Fitness, got that jumping off for y'all tomorrow. Gotta get right. So we gotta get right across the board in order to be a benefit to our people. Because you ain't gonna be able to benefit your people if you ain't taking care of yourself. The goal is that you take care of yourself so you can be helping and aid to others. And ain't no reason why our people, especially Israelites, can't nobody knock us in our knowledge. But yet and still, with all that knowledge, they say knowing is half the battle, because the biggest part is we don't do. We have got to apply, now more than ever. All right, so I hope, Most High willing, you guys work to apply. This is part one. Most High will do like a little 3-part series, so tackle some other different parts. But nevertheless, you know, this is it, man. So with that, go ahead and close out. I say shalom.
Shalom.